I was born in a certain hospital. When you give birth to a child, the child is considered 100% alive.
Yes.
Me, I was 2%
alive.
And I didn't cry. When my mom got up, was like, I want to see my child. And then the nurse was like, you have given birth to a certain thing. You don't understand. It might be dead. Because of that 2%, and because of even the way I was appearing, I think might be dead. Another big conception.
Misconception.
Yes, misconception. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, it is persons with albinisms have blessings. And that their body parts and all that is they have is a blessing. Actually, in my childhood, I was kidnapped.
Okay.
I was kidnapped around Kansanga.
Yes.
There is a flat that they are building, and they are going to use me for ritual sacrifices. That I've had a couple of painful. I used to sit in the dining on the table alone, but that table is a sitter of over 40 to 30 pupils. But you sit on the table and everyone goes away. At one moment, I also sat in a taxi. A guy was like, "Swali a taxi, musambwa." And we moved out. Unfortunately, I had very few people who told me that all that does not matter. My parents, both father and mom, they are very busy. I won't say they were, they are still very busy. They are very busy people. In providing and talking to us, they tried their level best to provide and talk to us. But in terms of talking with us, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I do.
You know, nowadays parents talk to their children, but they don't get time to talk with the children, having that conversation and feedback from the children.
Yeah.
And that's what I never had. I had to sit myself down several times, not once, not twice, but several times. I looked for that single purpose as to why I'm doing a particular thing. Or one thing is, everyone has a purpose as to why he or she is on earth. The first thing I thought is proving a point. When you go on trying to prove a point that, what, I'm a person with albinism, but I can do this, one time it will land me into something really bad.
Hi everybody, welcome to today's episode where we are talking about being and living differently. I'm privileged to host Paul, who is willing to take us through his life experience of being born differently and living differently with albinism. And today I want to give him the honors to even help us define what that is, because many people actually don't know what albinism is about. So I want you, Paul, to help us take us through what it is about and your general life story. We want to hear how it has been for you living differently. So welcome in, Paul.
Thank
and
you.
I'm very, very happy to host you today.
It's a privilege being here.
Yeah, so who is Paul?
Yes, I can say my name is Paul Semogere Virunji.
Yes.
I live in Belere.
Yeah.
And that's where I work from.
Okay.
Professional-wise, I'm a psychologist.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a psychologist. And I love God. I'm a Christian. And I'm single.
Single?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm single, and I believe that.
Yes.
Yes. And,
nice to have you. Nice to have you, Paul.
Very nice being here.
I'm so looking forward to hear from you, really. And I just want us to go straight. Now, in layman's language, how would you define albinism to anybody to understand it?
Oh, and on addition on who I am.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention I'm a person with albinism.
Yeah. No. Yes.
So I'm a person with albinism, and
Yeah.
making it very simple, albinism
Mm.
is a genetic condition.
Yeah.
It's a genetic condition that results into lack of a pigment called melanin. Yes. Melanin is that pigment, that component that makes the skin black.
Yes.
Yes. And it varies in quantities. Some people do not have it at all, like me. And some people have mild. Some people have patches. And some people have, they lack it in hair.
Yes.
Yes. So it differs, it varies. But the main concept is the genetic bit, yes. In order for one to have albinism, that means both parents were carriers. They had the recessive gene, that component, that gene of albinism into them.
Yes.
It may not matter whether the parents, one was a person with albinism or the other wasn't a person with albinism, provided you have the gene, you're a carrier of the gene.
Yeah.
The recessive gene is a recessive gene. You meet with a partner who has the same recessive gene, you definitely have an offspring of person with albinism.
Okay, so in your growing up or in your family, are you the only one who was born differently, or there are others who are?
I grew up in a family of 5, the whole general family, father, mother, and my brothers were only boys. One lady in the house, my mom.
Yes.
I'm the firstborn.
Yes.
And in my family, I'm the only one with albinism.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only one with albinism.
Yes.
We are 3 children, me being the first, and
the other 3.
The other 2, the boys. And actually, in the whole entire lineage, from the great, my mom told me he got the chance, that privilege, to see the great grandfather.
Yes.
Of her side.
Yes.
He was a person with albinism.
Great grandfather.
Yes. And my grandfather now.
Yeah.
Fought so hard to have a child with albinism. Actually, he tried so much hard from different women. This is a story told to me by mom.
Yeah.
To get a child with albinism, but he didn't succeed.
He wanted a child with albinism.
Yes.
Why?
To him, actually, I've interacted with him, and he feels joy. He wanted an offspring that could portray the grandfather, the father of my grandfather. Yes.
So he wanted the lineage to have.
Yes, I wanted the lineage to at least have that.
One.
Yes.
Which didn't happen for him.
And which the offsprings are actually the grandchildren now. Yes, because now we are 2. My auntie has also a child. Yes, I was the first in the family, and they were very happy. Yes.
So, okay.
And when I was in family, my mom, my parents, they really loved me. I am very lucky that I was loved from day one.
Yes.
I can talk about my birth. When
Yes.
I won't mention the hospital because
Yes.
the experience isn't good.
Yes.
But I was born
Mm.
in a certain hospital
Mm.
with I'm forgetting its name, but when you give birth to a child,
Mm.
the child is considered 100% alive.
Yes.
Me, I was 2%
Alive.
alive, and I didn't cry. When they give birth to a child,
They cry.
they have to cry, and I I wasn't. It wasn't a normal birth. It was a C-section.
Mm.
Yes, and my mom was tired. Like the baby was also tired. And when my mom got up, was like, "I want to see my child."
Mm.
And then the nurse was like, "You have given birth to a certain thing. You don't understand. It might be dead because of that 2%,
Mm.
and because of even the way I was appearing. I think might be dead."
Mm.
Even when my mom was, "I want to see my child." Actually, my mom was like, "I don't care about the thing.
Mm.
Whatever the thing is, may want to see it. I want to see what I've given birth to."
Yes.
And they brought me to my mom,
Mm.
and my mom really loved me.
Mm.
It wasn't to her. It was a new venture.
Yes.
Something new to her.
Yeah.
It wasn't a shock,
Mm.
but then it was something new.
Yeah.
That now I have a person who have given birth to a child with albinism.
Mm.
I didn't cry for quite some time. After some time, actually, I spent some time without crying, and my mom was worried.
Mm.
Yes. So
How was it growing up?
after giving birth to me, my mom was there for me.
Yeah.
My mom was always there for me.
Mm.
But in terms of giving time, my parents, both father and mom, they are very busy. I won't say they are still very busy. They are very busy people.
Mm.
In providing and talking to us, they tried their level best to provide and talk to us. But in terms of talking with us, you get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I do.
Nowadays parents talk to their children, but they don't get time to talk with the children, having that conversation and feedback from the children.
Yeah.
And that's what I never had.
Yeah.
Throughout my life, actually up to university, that's when I started having a conversation, a dialogue with my mom. But it was always, do this, do this, do this, do this. And they were very busy.
Mm.
I spent my entire life in boarding, most of it in boarding. And I can say, I admit, the highest time I've spent home is COVID period.
Really?
Yes.
What about holidays? You would keep at school?
Sometimes I would keep at school, sometimes 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But the biggest, even Christmas itself is not, that December break is not big.
Yeah.
I spent most of the time at school in boarding section. Even there are sometimes, like in secondary, I never used to go back home. When I was growing up, besides not having enough conversation with my parents, I had low self-esteem, especially these beginning years. Yes, we are very reserved. I had a thing.
That's true. That's true with many people who are born differently.
True.
They are a bit always like
Reserved.
isolated, reserved. They are not forthcoming.
I had a triangle. I used to call it a triangle. Like, you could predict where Paul is. If Paul is not in church, Paul is home. If Paul is not home, he's at school. Period.
So you didn't have a life where
was-
you go out to have games,
No,
to play with other kids.
No, my life was quite so simple like that. We had children at the village. I loved when I was actually my difficult times were when I used to leave home going to school. At home, there were people who were talking, the negative words. Mwana mzimu, mwana tategerekeka. Those words were there at home. But then the children, my mates, my age mates, they were very free. They interacted with me very freely. And it was very, for me, I grew up knowing I'm like any other kid.
Which is good.
I grew up knowing that I was like any other kid at my childhood. Because they tried so much interacting with me. The children, my fellow children. But when I used to interact with, the youth and the old people,
yes,
it was really something very hard. I appreciate that home, despite the fact that mom wasn't there to listen. I had friends. I really had friends you could talk to.
So I want to ask you, Paul, you've mentioned it twice about how you didn't have the privilege to have parents who listen to you. At that point, what do you feel you needed to tell them? What kind of conversation do you think, or do you feel was good at that time to have with your parents? I'm asking this on behalf of parents who could be shying away from conversations with their children and sometimes don't even take them seriously. What is that you feel you missed?
I wanted to tell them what people used to say to me at school and even in the communities where you would walk, and someone mentions a word and you're like, now you wonder how you are going to get the truth, and you end up taking it in like that. I'm one person who used not to talk my issues with people.
Yes.
Actually, it was a burden up to my university. When I have issues, I don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
I don't tell anyone.
Do you think that was brought as a result of you not being heard?
Yes.
So you closed
completely. It was very hard for me when I have issues. I used to solve them by myself because no one would bother. We used to be with fellow children, and they were like, Paul alabika ali bulungi, Paul ali okay. And to make matters, I can say make matters worse or make matters better, I was this person who didn't mind. I grew up with an attitude of noticing a lot and keeping it back. When someone says something and you just say, but the brain stores at that young age. The brain keeps a lot.
Yes.
Nagamba oli musambwa, oli muzimu, tosobola zaala, and you hear that and you keep it back in your mind. You're like, Julie deny, and
you don't have somebody to speak to.
You don't have someone to consult to know whether it is the truth. So I grew up getting all those words to me, and I had that bad thing of keeping everything they used to tell me, keeping it to me. So once a lot of issues happened, actually, I got it's not I won't refer it to depression, but I got a breakdown.
Yes.
It was when I was growing. It was at my P3.
Yes.
I was in St. Helens near Mtanga.
Mm.
It is a girls' school, but I was in a section of the blind.
Oh.
I'll talk about art.
Yes.
And
So you were admitted as a boy
yes,
in a girls' school.
yes, in the section of the blind.
Okay.
And a certain girl made a statement,
Mm.
and they said I wanted to make friends, but I was very new, so I wanted to make a friend. And the girl made a statement that, who wants to be a friend to a ghost? Now, people used to tell me a lot of words, but it was something light, but being new to an environment and someone makes an announcement, it wasn't directed to only me, but making an announcement to the class. It was so painful and hurting. I actually became so reserved. I became only too open to the teachers, and it is only academics. And that brought back a lot of things that people used to say to me. It was too painful and too hurting. And about the blindness, how I got admitted to that, albinism is associated with two major issues: visual impairment and skin cancer, or skin.
Yes.
Eyes and skin. My skin is so delicate. I'm lucky that my mom is a medic, is a nurse. In childhood, this is something that affected me so much. I wanted so much in childhood to prove people wrong. Actually, it went with me up to senior 6. I wanted so much to prove people wrong. Why? I channeled that pain and that anger into proving people that you guys you don't understand what you're talking about. I started drumming in senior 4. It was as a result of someone saying that you cannot see the drums.
Really?
Yes. I told this person, you just don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll show you that I can play that drum. I can learn those drums, and I play them better than you do.
Yeah.
It was something someone can say it is something good, but then it went on. It was something very bad to me. I used to do it in a very bad way. Like, to an extent that my mom, as I said, my mom is a nurse. I used to get very many blue stars. If it wasn't for my mom, I would have had skin cancer. Construction sites.
Yes.
So I used to go to those construction sites. That's how, me, I knew in my life that I have to live a normal life. I have to be normal. So I used to go to those construction sites. Oh, I have a cape. Oh, I have sunscreen. Oh, I had shades. I don't care. I would just go and I start working. And when the sun burns me, at first you don't notice. For us, when the sun burns, you notice when it has done its effect on you. That's now when you feel that skin. When it burns, it pains. When the skin turns red, and it pains so much. And after the skin turning red, it gets blisters. Now that sun, it means that sun is too much. It has been too much on you. Yes.
Yeah.
You get blisters. That those watery, those boils with water inside it. Now I used to reach to that stage. And now if that stage is not handled with care, it can go straight to skin cancer. And luckily my mom used to come back late from work, but she had a policy. When she comes back to work, she moves around the house and she visits our bedroom. When we are sleeping, so she used to open my shirt. She knew I was very stubborn. She used to open my shirt, and in here her opening your shirt, she said she looks sad. I was like, come out. And she used to treat those blisters there and then. And that is the luck I had. I can say it is luck.
So it means parents who actually are not medics find it harder.
Exactly.
To live with.
Exactly.
So what are some of the major misconceptions apart from the comments that you had, which are wrong? What are some of the other major conceptions you feel the general public has regarding albinism?
Well, the misconceptions, I've gotten a chance of moving to various regions.
Yes.
And various regions have different misconceptions depending on culture.
Yeah, maybe like 2, 3.
But the major ones I've had is that persons with albinism don't die.
Okay.
That they just disappear. Actually, most people we have come into contact with like, bangamba bannamagwe tebafa. Boy bafa babula bubuzi. And comments that I've heard that when the person with albinism dies on the village, the burial is packed. They want to see, yes. They want to see whether it is real.
That is the one, yes.
They want to see whether it is real. And also the concepts that I've heard is persons with albinism are ghosts. Sevantu. That they are ghosts. They disappear and appear. And
so wrong.
This is very wrong. It's very, very, very wrong.
Yeah.
Another misconception I've had is that persons with albinism, it wants to run away. Persons with albinism, they actually cure HIV. How? When you have intercourse with them, you get healed of HIV. That conception is there. And it is a very, very wrong conception.
Yeah.
It is very, very wrong conception. Another big conception.
Misconception.
Yes, misconception. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, it is persons with albinisms have blessings. And that their body parts and all that is they have is a blessing. When you take it to a witch doctor, it's a blessing for them.
Yeah, actually, I read a story before the interview where someone was talking about albinism having body parts missing.
Yes.
Like when they go for hospital, they are into hospital sometimes, or even people attacking them at night and just cut off parts. That sometimes people use them for like sacrifice and things like that.
Yes.
That they carry a blessing. That's a big one.
Actually, in my childhood, I was kidnapped.
Okay.
I was kidnapped around Kansanga.
Yes.
There is a flat that they are building, and they are going to use me for ritual sacrifices in that flat.
Yes.
Yes. Luckily, my mother got quick and got me up very fast before all that happened. But
They involved police and got you?
no.
Mm.
The
How,
person,
you were alone?
I was very young in the house, and the house has two exits.
Yeah.
So the exit was open, and my mom was in the bedroom. I was in the sitting room. The thief entered through the front door. The person entered through the front door, picked me up, and moved still through the front door. So my mom came out of the bedroom.
Yeah.
Noticing that I'm not there, he passed through the back door. The back door is a shortcut. It is a little bit near. So when she passed through the back door, they met with a man. And my mom was furious and was asking, where were you taking my child? So the man confessed everything. And my mom did intervene with the police case and all that. Just got me and was like, just go.
There was now extra care now, I think,
Yes.
towards you.
Serious. Actually, up to now, my mom is very, very conscious.
Careful.
Yes,
Yeah.
where I go, where I move, the people who give me lifts, people who, the people around me, who are the people around you. Where are you going? What are you up to? Where do you stay? Actually, even when I was coming to Pelere, getting a rental, my mom had to come there and see the people around. He had to to talk to the people around that this is this and this and this, to see my security and everything. And that's how
she's been managed.
Yes.
What is the other misconception? Is there any that you left?
There are very many misconceptions. I cannot
finish
all, but there are very many people.
So is there a point where being born with albinism has been a point of advantage?
Yes.
Like in what area, and what could have happened?
University.
Yes.
I studied on government scholarship. Yes. Affirmative action, and it was as a result of albinism.
Oh.
I was a leader in my secondary life throughout.
Yeah.
I appreciate my secondary school, Royal College Namgongo. I was new. It was something new to them. It was something new to them, enrolling on a child with albinism. And it was a process of learning for both of us, me and them. Yes. But these people, I was a leader throughout.
Yeah.
From senior 1 to senior 6.
Yeah.
And I didn't contest for this position. Most of them, I applied for them, yes. But I was unopposed.
Oh.
People
just felt like you could.
And most positions, were just starting with me, apart from maybe class monitor, class monitress, class counselor.
Yeah.
But the positions I had that started with me is like clubs prefect. I used to head all the clubs in school and running all of them. I had my board, and to me it was a privilege.
Yeah, being in leadership. Have you been in leadership even at an older age now?
Like right now?
Yeah. Or not?
Maybe at campus. I participated still in leadership, church leadership, and I also headed persons with disability. But older now, I'm not yet participated in any politics. Yes.
Okay, then I'll twist the question. Is there a point of disadvantage that you felt was as a result of being born differently?
Yes, it was.
Could you mention like 2?
1, I used to sit in class. I had issues with my studies. My studies, persons with albinism, they have to sit 1 meter to the board.
Oh.
Yes, 1 meter or 1.5. The teacher has to write bold. And I used to find it hard copying notes. I used to find it hard writing down during papers, reading. It was a process of learning for all schools where I went. Actually, my primary education wasn't stable, and I didn't tell my parents, I didn't tell anyone, but at one time I sat down on my bed in body, and I was like, I wish I can be black. I wish I can just have a normal life. There was times where people would say a lot of words, and I could sit down and I just wish I was black. I just wish I had a different color. I wish I could see better. I wish I could have more friends. I wish I could talk to people. That is one recurring incident that happened. And when I always gotten all those abuses, all those words, all those things, they wouldn't matter at that point. But then when I got difficulty, like I was a scout, I'm a scout. And when maybe I was removed, or maybe when I was unable to do something because of the particular thing, I would sit back and all those thoughts would come back to me, and I would just wish God I was black.
Yeah, right.
A second thing was as at campus, it was a relationship issue. I got someone, yes, and this person never knew about albinism, and by the way, persons with albinism and relationships, it is quite complex.
I wanted to go there. I wanted to ask you how it has been for you and how it is actually going on now. Yeah,
because it is one thing to have to have all this normal life and all that, and it's another thing being in a relationship. I tried being in a relationship, and there is this lady I met, and love seemed to be normal and seemed to be okay. And not until they started telling her all these words. Where are you taking her? Where are you taking him? He cannot do anything. He cannot provide. He cannot produce. He cannot do all this stuff. And even the family members contributed to that, because she shared with the family members, and the family members like, if that's the man, don't ever bring him. Actually, don't ever come home. We cannot accept that abomination here at our home. So I was looked at as a curse, and they're like, do you want to produce children like him? It's like, what's wrong with producing a person with albinism?
She was willing.
She loved me, but I don't know whether I consider that love, because when you love someone, you are willing to be with that person regardless of how that person is or how that person is appearing.
Yes.
One of the challenges I face in a relationship is my partner bearing the burden of me being a person with albinism.
Yes.
It is one thing to be in love and to be in a relationship, but having the community and the society and the family members punching you with all these words is something else, is something another. There are other men you can look for. Why bother with this who has this thing of the community looking at you like, Mubasajja bonna, how do you get married to a person with albinism? You mean there weren't any? Those are the words they used to tell her. And she came to me and she told me, no, this won't work out. Because family Ghana, the communities are against the love and it won't work out. I didn't explain much. I didn't fight for her because I understand. I knew a person to take up a person like me, one of the conditions she should be having in mind is to bear that.
Yeah.
Because
to bear anything.
Yes, to bear the words and all that. Because those will come.
Yeah.
Those will be there. I've had a couple of painful moments. I used to sit in the dining on the table alone. But that table is a seater of over 40 to 30 pupils, yes. But you sit on the table and everyone goes away from the table. Sometimes you're like, but it hurts.
Yeah.
At one moment, I also sat in a taxi and a guy was like, "Swallowing a taxi, and we moved out."
What?
You sit in a taxi. There was also another moment. I think last week I was in the taxi and I sat, and the taxi was partially empty. So the conductor told the driver, "Akasa tulinamu omusango gwaffe tujja kufuna abantu." I was like,
really?
So some things,
the words
they
can be really come. Many.
And sometimes you laugh and you're like, you reach back home and you laugh. People have words.
Yeah.
People can really speak.
Yeah, I think we can only just, one of the reasons I did this episode was to create awareness and also to help people understand that albinism is just a condition where somebody is born differently with a pigment that is lacking in the body, but otherwise they are just normal people.
True.
So I want to really ask you at this point, you talked about relationship and what, so have you tried again? From the other experience, have you tried again?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
okay. That's okay, really. How have you handled the cost of living?
The cost of living? There are some times where you have to stand bold.
Yeah.
And you tell someone,
yeah,
bigula sente mwezi nemwezi. Because someone can look at you and go, how oyo muzungu? Enyanya y'ebisatu nefuuka ya bitaano. Stand bold. You tell him, I have this, I have 200.
They hike prices.
Even I remember my traveling, my whole entire traveling. When you stop people, they always look at you like a person with money. And they gauge you in that high cost.
Yeah.
But it's a struggle. Of course, you try telling them, showing them that the prices. So it is not easy with the cost of living. We try as much talking out.
They are hiked to them,
but they hike their prices. It is always hiked.
Okay, so you mentioned that you work with the Albinism umbrella. What other things are you passionate about? What are other things that you do that you love doing? I heard you mention about drumming. I heard you mentioned somewhere about scouting.
Yes.
What else? Or how about those two?
Well, putting aside the fact that I was proving a point.
Yes, about learning drums.
Yes, about learning drums.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually love playing drums.
Yeah.
The thing of proving a point came in when someone was denying me the chance to learn.
Yeah.
Yes. So I am passionate to drumming. I love drumming. I do sing.
You sing?
Yes,
Okay.
I sing.
Mm.
I love helping people.
Mm.
I love helping people. Before I joined the Albinism umbrella,
Mm.
I used to volunteer with Red Cross.
Yeah.
I worked in an organization called MASCO it's called Medical and Community Support Organization. Uganda, it is in Lira, where I started from. Or I went to Lira University, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was also volunteering, and I did my intern there.
Yeah.
And they loved me so much.
So those are good moments, actually.
Mhm.
They are. So
And
okay.
yes, I also I love helping people.
Mm.
As in my times, if I'm not with Albinism umbrella, I go and volunteer with Red Cross. I do some singing. I do some drumming.
Okay, that's amazing. Now, I want you to speak to somebody with albinism who is actually struggling with those words right now, and they just don't know how to cope. What would you tell them?
I will start with how I coped with mine.
Yes.
Actually, unfortunately, I had very few people who told me that all that does not matter. I had to sit myself down several times, not once, not twice, but several times. And I looked for that single purpose as to why I'm doing a particular thing, or the reason as to why I'm moving on. One thing is, everyone has a purpose as to why he or she is on earth.
Yeah.
And having a purpose in particular situation helps a lot. I came to learn that when you go on throwing stones to dogs, stray dogs on their way, you may not reach your destination. The first thing I fought is proving a point, when you go on trying to prove a point that, you know what, I'm a person with albinism, but I can do this. It will one time it will land me into something really bad.
Yeah.
So I fought hard. Another thing is, we cannot control our environment. We cannot control what people say.
Yeah.
However much you want to, people will speak, and they have a right to speak their mind. They'll always say what they think is right. They'll always say what they think they know. There is that liberty of speaking.
Yeah.
But it is how you take it in, you as an individual, that matters. The rest do not matter. What you take in is what matters a lot.
Yeah.
So as a person with albinism out there facing all these words, you would sit yourself down, and you ask yourself whether you are those words they say. I used to sit down on second thought, and I was like, but I'm not a ghost.
Yeah.
I'm a human being. I can eat food like any other person. I can live like any other person.
Yeah.
I used to, always remind myself that I'm not what they say, but I'm what I say I am.
Yeah.
So what I say is what defines me, not what people say.
Yeah.
I always sat myself looking for who I am, asking always that question and meditating upon it. And it helped me a lot, understanding and accepting the person I was. Knowing that I'm a person with albinism, I have to wear sunscreen, I have to wear long sleeved, I have to wear a hat, I have to wear the specs, I have to wear sunglasses, and I have to take care of my skin, I have to take care of my health. I had to learn that there are some things I cannot do, and there are some things I can do. I had to accept that by myself. I had to sit
You know,
down
the
by
issue
myself.
usually there is the acceptance bit.
Yes.
It's hard to accept, especially
Very
if
hard.
you wish you were different. You
Yes.
see, so maybe the how would be the point of help here. How does somebody accept who they are? What helps them?
One, the people around that person.
Affirming.
The people around that person should help a lot. Especially the close friends, the parents, the relatives.
Yeah.
They should help a lot. Two, accepting who you are, you really need to understand the concept of what you are. Helping learn more about albinism. Even, you know, there is research Albinism Umbrella made, and over 80% of persons with albinism, they don't know what causes albinism, even how albinism comes about.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to take care of themselves. So the point of acceptance begins by really understanding who you are, because you can't accept what you don't understand.
Yeah.
If you understand yourself better, if you understand that I'm this and this, it will help you a lot to accept that.
Yeah, I agree.
It will help a lot in elevating who
Yeah.
you are, and even other people. It will make it more easier for other people outside there to you know, help you out.
I agree. And I think it's just a call even to us, general public, to help anybody we feel is born differently, in affirming, in giving equal opportunities, in getting them involved, because actually they can. See? So it's just been an honor sitting down with you, Paul. I feel more informed about being born differently with albinism, and I just hope that everybody is. Yeah. So we are really happy. Thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your life with us. This helps us to know what albinism is about, what are some of the life experiences you've gone through, and how can we as a community help, you know, in giving both opportunities in career, in church, in everywhere where we experience people like you. So do you have any final remarks that you want to share? Something on your heart? Could be anything.
Yes. I wanted to talk about the assistiveness of persons with albinism.
Yes.
I grew up buying sunscreen.
Yes.
And struggling with the eyes and different health issues. I really urge the public to help out in assisting with sunscreen. Sunscreen is like our ARVs.
Yes.
So I can't end without talking about it.
Yeah.
Because without it, we sign to skin cancer, wearing hats, and letting the community know that we are human beings, giving us a chance to contribute to society.
Yeah.
Telling those parents that have given birth to children with albinism that actually those children are like any other child. The only difference is the color.
Yeah.
But they can make it with your assistance, with your guidance.
Yeah.
They can make it with life.
Yes.
They can be actually someone out there that can contribute to the development of society. Yeah. So they shouldn't sit on these children. By the way, many of persons with albinism, they don't go to school. Many of them don't attain education. We are very few who have reached to higher institutions of learning. Yeah. So I call upon parents to fight hard. Let these children attain that education, because with that, it's one way of helping create awareness and motivating other generations. Yeah. I also call upon parents to always love and even encourage other fellow parents to love these children with albinism.
Yeah.
It is really important.
And take time and hear, listen.
Listen to
them.
them, yes, giving them that time.
Mm.
Because when you get a chance and you talk to a person with albinism, you feel his weight being lifted. You will feel his or her weight being lifted.
Yeah.
At least I've gotten a chance talking to most of them. And when you talk to them, even in their actions after talking to them, you feel that there is something you have done to them
to uplift their esteem, to affirm them. Yeah.
So talking to them, giving that time and understanding them, it is really very, very important. And it helps a lot in building them psychologically, physically, and mentally. It helps a lot. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you too.
And one thing that stands out in this episode is for you to learn this from us today, that albinism is not abnormality. It's just being born differently. So always refer it like that. But these people are normal. They can do anything you can do, just that they are a bit limited, maybe with the weather and maybe with the eye impairment, but otherwise they can do everything once they have the skills. Let's help them become what God has created them to be, in affirming them, in offering opportunities, in hosting them, in hearing them out. Yeah? So thank you so much for listening. And if this is an episode that you feel you've learned something, please go in the comment section and tell us what you feel about the episode. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much.